Kara shows up and is wondering why she hasn't seen them since the cabin. And she is wondering why all the killings have started once Jamie got to their town. Pam and Jamie just walk away from Kara as she is dressed as the Grim Reaper with a real stiff. As Marissa makes her way into the dollhouse of horrors, she is walking around trying to see if the killer will show up. And then you have Jamie holding a bat, waiting. This is a trap. The killer does show up, creeping towards Marissa, where he attacks her. But Blake hits him from behind with a bat, but it does not affect the killer. As Blake gets thrown to the side, the killer now is chasing Jamie throughout the house of horrors. The killer attacks Jamie in one of the rooms, but the group is all there and they finally overtake him by Kara using her knife to slice and dice the killer and says, "I told you I wasn't the killer." And as they pull off the mask of the killer, it is Doug, the hall pass monitor. They all wonder why Doug would want to kill them, and he has a necklace around his neck, and in that necklace is the picture of Fat Trish, and Trish was his girlfriend. Jamie says, "Why would he want to kill you?" Marissa says, "Well, there was this party that Tiffany asked Trish to come to. And when she got over there, we got her really drunk and made fun of her. And then she locked herself in the room. She must have called Doug. And then she left and drove." Then Jamie says, "Wait, you let her drive drunk?" "Yes, but she just left." Lauren runs in and says, "Oh my God, it was Doug." "Jamie, we gotta go. Your time's almost up." Jamie now looks at her mom, Pam, and says, "You killed someone?" And she says, "No, I didn't. I wasn't there that night." Pam says, "I would never do something like that. You think I am some kind of monster?" And then Jamie says, "Then why would Doug promise to kill you one day?" And she pulls out the note and it says, "You're next one day." But Pam doesn't even recognize the note. And then all of a sudden, a second killer shows up and slices Marissa's throat. But it's the killer from the future because Jamie fucked up his mask and she recognizes it. And the killer takes off and they wonder, how did he get here from the future? And now we go back in the future and Lauren's mom sees her teen daughter knocked on the ground. And her time machine is missing. So it must have been Chris, the podcaster, that went back in time. As Jamie and Lauren get into the time machine, the killer from the future shows up. The time machine is starting to spin. As Jamie takes off her jacket, she gives it to Lauren and says, "Give this to Kim." And then Lauren jumps out of the time machine and it's starting to spin, but Kim enters the time machine. Now Jamie and Kim and the killer are in the time machine as it picks up speed to take them back to the future. As they battle in this spinning time machine, both of them are fighting the killer, but Kim must get out of the time machine before she is also transferred to the future. The killer is slowly approaching Kim. As he reaches his knife out to stab her, Jamie opens the door and Kim flies out of the machine. And now it is just the killer and Jamie in the time machine. Now Jamie sees that the killer is Chris, the podcaster who needed some new material and decided to kill Jamie's mom and clone the Sweet 16 killer and make it look like he reappeared after all these years. Chris says the Sweet 16 killer is back and he can be anyone and he cannot be killed. He's Michael fucking Myers and I am the expert. And I had no idea that Doug was the original Sweet 16 killer. But now the Sweet 16 killer will become more famous. Because, and Jamie says, no one knows about you because you are going to die in my time machine. As he reaches out to kill her, she pulls out a nail gun and shoots him 6 times. and then he flies back against the spinning wall of the time machine and turns into paint dust. And now Jamie makes it back to 2023. The carnival is back into ruins as it was before she left. And she goes running home. She's yelling, "Mom, Mom." And as she runs to the front door, she's like, "Mom, Mom." And you hear Pam say, "Honey, I'm here." And they both hug. All right, man. So Jamie's mother is still alive, Kim, and still married to their dad, Blake, which is totally awesome because it means that Jamie is still their daughter. Emily's mom, Lauren, remembers everything that happened in the past, and she begins to tell Jamie the timeline. When a guy starts walking up past them and they both smile at each other, and she's like, "Who was that?" She's like, "Well, now you have an older brother and his name is Jamie." She's like, "Wait, what? Both of our names are Jamie?" "No, your name is Colette." Cut credit scene. All right, man, that was totally awesome, which to me was all right, man, that was totally killer, which was totally awesome to me. Absolutely thought it was fun. Such a blast. Watched it a few times, but you know, I had to cut out the BJ scenes in this review, but that shit was hella funny. There was throughout the whole show with them talking about the BJs. Dude, it's the drinks. Remember the bottles and James wine coolers? That's all it was. You know, they've had too many or gave out too many BJs in one night. These sick fucks. Get it out of your head. No, but I had to go ask my wife after I watched this movie. I'm like, "Hey, you want some bottles and James?" No, man. So totally killer. My final ranking on this, dude, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. This thing almost made a 10, but man, I absolutely love this movie. It was so funny. It was so awesome. And the horror, but you know what? It's the horror comedy, which like totally worked because it was from the 80s and it was Back to the Future slasher, and they even tell you that in the movie. They mentioned Back to the Future a few times, so it's not like they're hiding from what they are. And so I mean, and it was from NGM, brought to you, distributed by. So hell yeah, it was produced by Jason Blum, but it wasn't Blumhouse at all. It was NGM. So maybe that's a better route for them instead of them trying to do their own. Let them do their own thing. We'll keep our good horror stuff over here, and maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere. But hell yeah, dude. Totally awesome. It was totally killer awesome. All right, Triple B's out of the Haunted Basement Studio. Make sure you stab that like button with the subscription and that fucking bell so you're notified whenever I drop a hardcore spoiler movie review recap. Haha, later.